going on in the world, and we'll be talking about that here on Pod TV, seeing what folks have to say about a number of these news stories, including Iran sends a defiant message to Trump with colossal funeral for slain leader Ali Khamenei. Iran prepares for their day-long funeral for the late supreme leader, and definitely some folks are asking, will Mujtaba Khamenei attend his father's funeral? So powerful Iranian general seen in public amid preparations for the supreme leader's vast funeral. A Ukrainian woman disguised as a man is a main suspect in the Monaco attack. The Ukrainian woman named by Interpol as the main suspect in the Monaco bomb attack. Interpol names the Ukrainian woman as a suspect in that particular case. And Australian officials asked fans to respect the privacy of Neil, a troublemaking seal. Australian officials asked fans to respect the privacy of Neil, a one-ton seal who respects nothing. So a 1,000-ton mammal is wreaking havoc in Tasmania, and Neil the seal is loved for it. So is Neil the seal lonely and poorly brought up, or just a hooligan, is the question that is being asked by some of the news media outlets in Australia. And Russia attack kills at least 25, injures scores in Kyiv after Zelensky was warned of some massive attacks coming, I believe is what they were saying. So Russia's latest attack on Kyiv was exceptionally deadly, and Russia unleashes biggest attack yet on Kyiv, killing at least 21 people, officials say, as of yesterday. And at least 40 killed in a passenger bus crash in southwest Pakistan. An overcrowded bus plunges into a ravine in southwest Pakistan, killing 40 passengers and injuring 8. The overcrowded bus plunged into the ravine, and that's one of the stories coming out of Asia. And how drug gangs use social media to recruit Thai air crew as couriers. So, recipient of heroin from flight attendant was identified, according to the Bangkok Post. And Australian heroin bus spurs Thai airport screening overhaul. So, silk shirts have been used to hide heroin in overseas parcel plot. And in the West Bank, Israeli settlers take over Palestinians' dream home, and definitely settlers establish new outposts near a Bedouin community adjacent to Khan al-Ahmar, east of Jerusalem. So definitely that's something that folks are talking about as well. And long lines for gas shatter the illusion of normalcy in wartime Russia. So Novorossiysk suspends gasoline sales to private drivers as Russian fuel crisis bites. So definitely looks like they're having a serious fuel crisis in the middle of their war. So Russians live with fuel shortage and rationing as Putin insists that the war against Ukraine will go on. And Vatican schism puts MAGA Catholics under pressure. Vatican excommunicates Society of St. Pius X in the first major crisis for Pope Leo. And definitely Levirate priests and lay faithful procedure to return to Catholic communion is being reported by the Vatican News. So definitely it looks like there's some fusion and some breakup in the Catholic Church. And an ex-Hong Kong bookseller, Lam Wing Ki, detained by China in 2015, dies in Taiwan at the age of 70. The Taiwan leader pays tribute to Hong Kong bestseller Lam Wang Ki after his death, and definitely that's something that is sad news from the world of literature. Culture Secretary quits X in protest at misinformation. And this is coming out of the UK. So the UK Culture Minister quit X over abuse and misinformation. So UK's Culture Secretary and Department quit X, citing concerns over democracy. And Oman walks a diplomatic tightrope over Strait of Hormuz fees, creating a blind spot for the markets. Iran and Oman propose fee plan for Strait of Hormuz is what the sources are saying. Iran warns oil tankers to use approved routes in Strait of Hormuz or face a forceful response. U.S. tries to talk Iran out of tolls as talks resume in Doha. And China defends widely criticized ethnic unity law. McGovern, Smith, and Connie lead a bipartisan group of 14 House lawmakers asking State Department to condemn the Chinese government's harmful ethnic unity law. So definitely that's something that is coming out of Asia as well. And lots going on in terms of Albanian police fire tear gas at the Flamingo Revolution rally. So Albania's flamingos meet the Trump family bulldozer. Man who sold land for Kushner-backed Albania development probe over alleged money laundering and drug trafficking. So definitely. And Merz unveils sweeping reform push for Germany, tax cuts, pension overhaul, and other things that he's looking to do as well in the German market. David Hearn, Olympic canoeist, is indicted after arrest at Trump's reflecting pool, and the former Olympian faces felony charges over the alleged reflecting pool vandalism. So definitely that's still going on. And it's definitely looks like extreme heat is changing DC's July 4th weekend event plans. It's actually changing event plans in this part of the area as well. So there are some plans that have been changed in North Carolina where some events have been either moved up or some people are not performing. Like I don't think the North Carolina Symphony is performing as they usually do because of heat concerns. So there's a number of things that this heat is impacting and all along those lines. So extreme heat subsides and storms are possible in Ohio. So maybe we'll get some of that later as well. I know that they're saying by Monday we may get a break as well. But there's a mandatory evacuation ordered for Aspen Acres fire. So this is in the West Coast. In Colorado, wildfire doubles in size, becomes the number one fire priority in the U.S. So Aspen Acre fire rages in Pablo, Custer counties with zero containment. And definitely tricorn hats or Trump rally. Americans for allies and adversaries alike. America at 250 is a solid global citizen gone rogue. That all plays as well. And Mamdani's advice for seniors gets brutally mocked after urging New Yorkers to some of their things that they're doing. So Mamdani mocked by GOP for to 78. He was actually giving them some advice in terms of air conditioning. And Donald Trump reports over $1.4 billion in crypto income. So he stays quiet after Trump reports billions in personal gains. So 500 million for Trump, access for Pakistan, how a crypto bet paid off is what was being reported by Al Jazeera. So real estate, watches, and guitar. Trump's 2025 $2.2 billion income wasn't all from cryptocurrency, but there was quite a bit of it that was from cryptocurrency and all along those lines. So definitely we got a lot that we can talk about. Bringing in Rick Rosner, I think I got with me as well and everything like that. So a lot's going on, including the 250th anniversary celebration and everything like that. So I know that there's a lot of things going on.
Let's talk about a different celebration.
There's a before we get to that, I just want to say here. I wanted to talk about
so Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce are donating $28 million to various charities ahead of their wedding celebration this weekend, which gives you an idea of what their wedding might cost, that they are front-running any criticism about the insane cost of their wedding by donating $28 million, which is really nice. I mean, she is supposed to be a billionaire, but that's still a big chunk of her assets.
That's a big chunk of her assets and everything like that. Hey, what are you thinking? Because apparently Trump is wanting to do some serious repairs, and one of those repairs he wants to do is creating this golf course, which they're saying could damage something that has been a treasure of the United States since 1910, which is the cherry trees. And a lot of people come down for the cherry blossoms and all along those lines, but there is saying that he wants to build this lovely massive golf course and that it could damage the cherry trees, which are
we know from what he's done around the White House that he doesn't necessarily give a shit. If it gets in the way of his plans, he will tear stuff up.
Yeah, who cares about cherry trees anyway? There's plenty of them around, so it's not a big deal. Speaking of big deal, I saw this World Talent Economic Forum doing something with Stanford University. But I know somebody at WTEF. I'm not sure about Stanford. So what's going on there, Sharif?
Yeah, actually with Solar Skyway, you know that I closely working in their research teams for transportations. And right now I'm in South Asia to deploying their innovations in South Asia, especially in Gujarat and in Bangladesh. So for that particular issues, we call it Wisdom City. We are developing cities. This is my own innovative plans based on this wisdom. Always I talk about wisdom. So we build up this Wisdom City. So this concept I want to bring to the Stanford University. So I have some collaboration partners and sponsor like Swinson family, Ron Swinson. They are also a sponsor for this event, and they are also part of these things. So we invite all of the famous entrepreneurs from Bangladesh, from India, from Pakistan, from Kashmir, and from Nepal, and many of them actually showing their keen interest to join this kind of high profile and innovative program. So one thing is Wisdom City, which will be very helpful for the global economy. And number two is impact investment, like how we can create a more positive impact from global north to global south. So Nick, I think you have a very good opportunity to work with us, especially this Spot TV. And we are getting a very good and positive response from around the world, those who are very, very interested. So this is our action. I always say that I have 20% theory, 80% action. So this dialogue is part of theories and discussions, but 80% we have to take actions. So I want to make my hand dirty. That is my objective.
It looks like he's got a good event, and it looks like it'll be a fun event and everything like that. So hopefully more people will get involved. But like I said, it is the 250th anniversary. I got to play this very short clip, but apparently there was a little bit of a catastrophe and everything like that. But it's a short clip. Just wanted to hear what folks have to say about this, because this was taking place earlier today, and I saw this on Facebook. So it's only about 14 seconds, but check this
Well, maybe he needs Wisdom City. The minute I thought Wisdom City, I thought that's a great idea, Sharif. I like the idea. I wonder if we could trademark Wisdom City.
This is
And
the way actually millions of
we
people
need that in
actually
Washington,
like it.
D.C.
From around the world, and everybody need it, right? Nick,
That's
you have
true.
it.
If you definitely
And,
you're trying to do a major event and you're having things falling down.
yes.
Well,
So,
it happens.
So, Rick, what do you
this is
think
the
about
way
that? Because, like I said, that was
But even
on July.
even before the light fell down, I'm not sure the entertainment was that great.
Oh, come on, man. Haven't you seen
Yeah.
Bad Bunny? Talk about bad entertainment, Bad Bunny. It's
All
much
right,
better.
I'm not going to fight about Bad Bunny.
But anyway,
Well,
I want to
speaking
hear
of
about
speaking of
Wisdom
entertainment,
City.
apparently there's going to be a first. Speaking of entertainment, there's going to be a first, which I just
Yeah,
learned about
watch.
yesterday because I was watching the World Cup, and we know that there are Super Bowl parties, but apparently there's going to be a halftime show at the championship of the World Cup, which they've never had before. And I think it's going to feature Shakira, Madonna, the president of FIFA will not announce who the other act would be. I think it's by like one of the gentlemen from Coldplay. So there's going to be some other big star that's going to be there as well. But they're going to actually have, just like they got hydration breaks at the World Cup, which they never had before, there's going to be actually a first time
Halftime at the World Cup.
There's
Well,
gonna be
if they
halftime.
want a successful halftime at the World Cup, here's what you need: Taylor and Travis. You can't be
Taylor may be
and
the surprise
Travis.
guest. I don't know. They haven't said.
Well,
They
so,
said they'll-
but my wife corrected me. They're not giving 28 million. They're only giving 26 million.
That's still a lot of money. I
Yeah,
still a lot of
mean,
money.
you know, Taylor has it, but Travis, that's like half his net worth. You know,
Let's see
so
how much Taylor Swift.
hey, but
has a net
Taylor's
worth
notorious for being generous. I
So-
mean, she is notoriously generous. Same with who's the other person? Mackenzie Scott. You know, Jeff Bezos' ex-wife. She's notoriously generous, and shows Bill Gates' ex-wife notoriously generous.
Yeah.
Now, who isn't generous? The guys. The guys are not generous at all.
I know Warren Buffett
Women are generous.
has sworn that his kids aren't getting much, that all of it's going.
Yeah,
to-
yeah, Warren Buffett
Yeah.
definitely said that. By the way, from a story yesterday, the Empire State Building climbers Angela Nikolai and Ivan Kuznetsov, aka Burkus, get supervised release until their next court date. So they went up there. I think they got engaged and everything else, but they got supervised release until they have to face court. And who knows? Maybe they'll get, maybe they'll serve time, maybe they won't serve time. But if they serve time, then they might not have a relationship or a family together until they get out of prison. By the way, Rick, I got a question for you, and it's a question that's oftentimes asked, and it's for Nick as well. How do these kids get hidden and everything like that? Because that's actually what's being asked by a News Nation. Because you got these kids that were found in squalor, and this was in Ohio, and they've been in Ohio. Kids go undetected for years, so right under our noses.
It's often hillbillies. If you look at the pictures of the people, they're the parents are and grandparents. They're obviously all like close to retarded. You look at their faces; they've got very dumb faces, and they're also all crazy. So like you got mental illness and you got abject stupidity, and I don't know. I assume now one of these people may have a job. I don't know, like holding a clipboard at a trucking company or some dang thing, or else they're getting some kind of public assistance, or maybe there's family money But anyway, they were just the U.S., like I keep saying, has 1/3 of a billion people, and the bottom 0.1% in terms of dumbness and craziness, you're gonna find stuff like this.
Speaking of dumbness and craziness, we cannot do anything about the heat, whether it's in Bangladesh or here or in Spain. So there is a new story that just came out. Philadelphia, and that's definitely a major country. I mean, a major state and city associated with independence, has canceled their parade. So Philadelphia Salute the Independence Parade. So due to dangerous heat and everything like that, so they canceled that amid the heat wave. And I know that there have been other ones that might be. And I think the one in Raleigh that'll be in the morning will be taking place to feature all counties of North Carolina. Philadelphia has canceled it due to dangerous heat, and there are to have people that you got to be cautious and be hydrated along those lines. But it does look like some of these folks are pulling out. The North Carolina Symphony is not going to be participating here. The heat and everything like that. So the heat is impacting a lot of folks, but hey, it's not going to stop Trump and his fireworks and everything like that. So Trump record-setting July 4th fireworks with pollution is what some of the environmentalists are cautioning.
So there's a State of the States report out. A group of scholars from across the political spectrum have ranked 31 measures of national well-being across 14 topic areas, from mental health and education to income, violence, and trust of your fellow citizens, and rank the states as and the top 5 states for well-being are Minnesota, New Hampshire, Iowa, Vermont, and Massachusetts. The lousiest states are Louisiana, New Mexico, West Virginia, Nevada, and Mississippi. And 2
of those states are known for poverty.
I'm from New Mexico, and I can see where you could think New Mexico is pretty miserable.
And I know people from Louisiana and Mississippi, so I can see where they would think that that's pretty miserable as well. So we even have a host that is in Louisiana.
I live in Spain, so what can I say?
Yeah, you live in Spain. You have tapas like 5.
I live in Barcelona.
You probably have sangria like 3 times a month. You just sit out, you watch.
No, we just go to the beach a lot, the Mediterranean. Mediterranean's like a lake. I always thought it was a real sea because you always hear these storms. And
I'll say about the beach. I'll say about the beaches because I know you've been concerned about what do you call them, riptide. It's about low
there's
water
no
because of
riptides
the
in
heat and everything like that. So there's all there's riptide in the Mediterranean.
There's riptides in the Atlantic. I'm just waiting to go to Dhaka to go visit Dr. Sharif as soon as he gets a date set in November and December. So I can get my airplane tickets and head over to Dhaka, which is one of the biggest cities in the world, and stay at the Intercontinental. You guys have the Intercontinental at Dhaka. You know.
I know that
I know
that. But we got to get you to pay for it and everything like that. So we're waiting for you to have a trip to there that is sponsored by TV. That we can all
Pod TV. Yeah, we can send a bunch of Pod TV people to Dhaka.
UK and everything like that. So apparently, a rare copy of the U.S. Declaration of Independence was found by a volunteer in the UK. And I know I've been going through.
It was a copy of the Declaration.
Your voice
where I work at.
is choppy.
We've been finding information as well. Nothing like that, but we have found some rare copies of different things. So sometimes it's interesting when you go through archives and find rare copies, but they found a rare copy of the U.S. Declaration of Independence there.
It was somebody who actually just copied it by hand. It wasn't a copy. It was somebody who just copied it by hand. And they found it in Great Britain. You know, the British hoard a lot of things that are overseas. I mean, the British Museum, when I went to it, I was very disappointed. It was all Egyptian artifacts. I was going, what is Egypt doing in Britain? Well, Britain came and plundered Egypt and took all their junk and moved it to the British Museum.
A lot of
That's
these
the
places
reason
are
why.
being pressured to give some of this stuff back.
Oh, you mean some of the stuff that they took back?
In the 18th, 19th, 20th century, yeah, all the stuff they
I know. It was appalling because I was looking to go see the British art, and the British art is at the National Gallery. It's not at the British Museum. The British Museum is Egypt, but I don't want to see Egypt stuff in Britain. I want to see it in Egypt. You know, I mean, come on.
But
So
the
you're
National
right, you should
Gallery,
send it
that's
back.
if you Britain has awesome music. London has, the National Gallery is the best paintings of the past
the
400
they're
years.
tremendous there. National Gallery, and they have the Tate Museum. They've got some really nice museums. But when I was younger, I made a mistake. I went to the British Museum, which was a piece of trash. It was all Egyptian artifacts. I don't want to see Egyptian artifacts. I want to see British stuff in Britain. I don't want to see Egypt stuff. So yeah, they should send it back to Egypt. I do want to go to Egypt to look at Egyptian stuff, but I don't want to see Egyptian stuff in Britain, But good luck in getting it back over there. I noticed we have a chess show you're going to be taping, Sasha, later on.
Yeah.
Okay. Got some good stuff going on.
It's right now it's a grand chess tournament. It's Rapid and Blitz. They're playing in Zagreb, 10 players, and Ferrugia is leading right now. A lot of interesting games. So we'll take a look at some of them.
Yeah, they actually have a world team or world Olympic team championship in chess going on in Samarkand, Turkmenistan, I believe, in October, right? I was thinking about flying over there, but if I fly over there as an American, first of all, I'm not sure if they're going to want me. And then second of all, what am I going to do? So I go, except film what's going on in Tajikistan or whatever it is. It's kind of an interesting country where they're having it at. And Samarkand is some old city.
It's Uzbekistan. That's where the Olympics.
Yeah, Tajikistan, right?
No, Uzbekistan.
Is it Uzbekistan? But isn't it in Samarkand or something?
There is
like
a Tajikistan. Yes, there is a country of Tajikistan, but the Olympiad is being.
Okay, so it's in Uzbekistan, but the city is Samarkand or something like that, right?
Samarkand.
Okay, have you ever been there?
No, I never been there. I know history of Uzbekistan. I know it was created in the name of Khan Uzbek, who was, I think he was a grandchild of Chinggis Khan. So, so that's where the beginning of the nation of Uzbekistan. So they're coming from the Mongol and Turkish tribes, if you will. And, that's for some reason that helps them a lot in chess. They're now one of the top chess countries in the world. They're going to play very soon a match. They're arriving to the United States to play a national American team as a practice for the Olympiad. And last Olympiad actually was won by Uzbekistan team. So that's kind of a phenomenon. It's very, very interesting.
Yeah, and I believe half the Americans couldn't find Uzbekistan on a map. I'm serious.
Probably not.
Hey, just really quickly,
Uzbekistan is famous because they have Sindarov and they have some top chess players. But Americans, where's Uzbekistan? They don't know where
Uzbekistan made it actually to the World Cup in soccer.
Yeah,
they
did?
lost to Portuguese team, which is one of the strongest, but still they participated and they were fighting Colombia. They even scored first goal, but then Colombia answered.
So you came back and won. Hey, Sasha, just really quickly, did you think that it was an offside? Because it was about to be 2-2 and go into a shootout, but Ronaldo and the team from Portugal did win the match 2-1, but they said it was an offside after going to the VAR. But I just wondered, did you agree with that call, or did you think it was a bad call? It looked like most people agreed with the call. And what is your thoughts of the games today?
You know, I'll tell you, I have my opinions on many things, but I investigated how the SWAR system works. See, what we see on TV, we see something happening from one angle only, and that's the only thing what we see. Now, they see it from different angles, and that could create different pictures. So I would consider their judgment is the final say. I wouldn't argue about that.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I can see that and everything like that. But it was a good game, and I didn't catch the late night game. But I'm assuming that who won the late night game between I think that was Algeria.
Switzerland won 2-0. There was no contest. It was a very one-sided affair. So there's nothing much to talk about. What's interesting thing, I've learned something new. I didn't expect at my age, it's my soccer experience, to learn something new. Here's what it is. I remember that Croatia scored at the last moment of the game, and it was ruled offside.
That's what I was talking
Yet
about.
the ball touched the Portuguese player. So I thought that that's enough to rule out offside and give them a goal. But what I've learned is that if the defenseman would give pass, which was intercepted by Croatian player and would score as a result of it, then the offside wouldn't score because that was an obvious mistake by a Portuguese player. But Portuguese player was very passive. The ball touched his back and continue on. So it did not affect in any case the pass to the Croatian player. So Croatian player, when he received the ball, he was in offside, and that's what I've learned.
Yeah, that makes sense. Hey, Sasha, just really quickly, because I mentioned it and Nick made a joke about it, but I did learn it from watching the FIFA president. What is your take, one, on the hydration breaks, because this is the first time they've been doing these hydration breaks, and what do you think about this idea of a super halftime show for the final game? Because they never had one, but I did watch the FIFA president after the Portugal game, and he did say that they're going to have a halftime show this year. So as a soccer fan, what is your take, one, on the hydration breaks, and two, on the halftime show?
Okay, hydration break, that's really a novelty. It's never been done. I mean, in occasional matches here and there, when it's really, really hot weather, they would do something like this. But to have regular interruption of the game every half of the match, I don't know.
Well, they add the minutes on at the end of each half.
No, it's not a matter of timing. No, it's a matter of the very often the team regroups and start to play very different game after the water break. It's happened to several teams, by the way, and I don't think that is that's what inventors of soccer meant, to give in the middle of the halftime, to give them time to regroup and to listen to coaches.
It gives some teams an advantage, but it's a way to tippy-toe around climate change, where if they're playing in an arena where it's 92 degrees, this gives the players a little bit of respite.
Yeah, plus they need to Americanize the sport anyway. Let's get real. If you look at soccer, is very boring compared to American football. But for some reason, the world hasn't adjusted to the fact American football is a superior game to cricket or soccer.
Numbers. Nick,
American football is
how many people in the world watching American football?
That's because they don't know.
People in the world watching soccer. Come on.
I know.
The audience is 45 times bigger for soccer than stupid American football. That's the end of the game. the end of it.
I can't help it. They're ignorant compared to the American.
But nobody wants to
Football
watch this
is a
stupid
superior
sport.
game.
It's the most stupid sport invented by the mankind, and that nobody wants to watch it except stupid American wants to see the stupid game. Okay, I understand that. I respect that. Today is your day.
Wait. Canadians have Canadian Football League, and they take on to Canadian Football League also.
More than
But I'm
five.
just saying, objectively, if you ran it through AI, which maybe Rick will do someday, then they'll say, what is a more superior game? Soccer, otherwise known as football, cricket, otherwise known as baseball, but no one understands it, or American football, the superior game that we all know of.
American football is superior for television and advertising. It has
Exactly.
a million breaks, so you can run a zillion ads. Baseball,
That's right.
good for the same thing. Soccer has close to 5.5 billion people are expected to watch this World Cup.
Yeah, and part of the reason it's a draw for everybody, in football you have to be really too big, or you have to be super fast, or you have to be super coordinated. Soccer, anybody with a cheap little ball can go out and kick a ball around. And so the rest of the world, because they don't have the money, they don't have the big size, they don't have the fast speeds, they grab on to the cheap game of soccer as opposed to the more enriched game of American football.
Yeah, but that's fine. Where you shouldn't have to be 320 pounds to play a sport. Like Messi is like 5'7".
It is what it is. I mean, it is. It's just like in basketball. Although it seems like the world has adapted to basketball, you have to be super tall. I mean, Muggsy Bogues was like a outlier, but all these other people, they're like 6'8", 6'9". Look at Wembley; he's like 7'4". To play basketball, it actually is better to be taller. It's just like today, Rick, sad to say, most smart people are making a lot of money, but they're making it not taking IQ tests. They're going to Silicon Valley and creating all these
I missed the boat. I was so concerned.
Hold on a second, Rick. Hold on a second, Nick and Rick. By the logic that you're given, then everybody, and I know that Sasha will agree with me that this is not something that everybody should be doing, but by that logic that it was working for one person, was working for several people, we should all be rushing to crypto, because apparently Donald Trump has a whole lot of money on
No. Crypto is zero sum to a certain extent, where for every billion Trump sucked out of crypto, his suckers, his followers, his believers lost roughly the same amount.
Exactly.
Yeah, crypto is just one big con game. You could call it crypto con, crypto scam, crypto whatever. But if you're on the top of the pyramid, Mark, it's good. I thought maybe we should create our own cryptocurrency and get people to send us their hard-earned dollars, their dinero, their euros, and we issue them little stupid coins.
It has a lot of characteristics of a
because Steve, your logic, and a lot of those companies, it's the top people that are the ones making the money.
Yeah, pyramid schemes, the guy on the top wins.
It's not the top, it's the first people in. It's a Ponzi scheme.
Exactly.
And the first people in, they pile in, they buy it cheap, then the suckers who swarm in and they drive up the price. Then the first people in sell, making 80 times their investment, or in Trump's case, Trump didn't pay. They just gave him some crypto to start. Anyway, they sell their stake. It collapses the price. All the suckers lose everything.
Yeah, there's crypto con, there's crypto scam, and there's SpaceX. They all behave the same. If you're on the top of SpaceX, which, by the way, that's where Elon Musk is, he pulls in all the juice. The other people, by the way, do you know what SpaceX is trading for right now? Okay, let's go take a look. But the people at the bottom of the pyramid, they get hammered. So here's what we need to do, Dr. Sharif. We need to create our own Bangladeshian cryptocurrency. Bangle Crypt, or Crypt Bangle, or whatever. Okay. and then get people to put their hard-earned money into it. We're going to be on the top of the pyramid. Okay, they're going to be on the bottom. They will issue them these little coins, and hopefully they'll be
I think
happy.
there's already Bangladesh crypto. Double check.
I want to make your life easy. Why don't you think like in this way?
CryptoCon.
Currency for talent, right? Currency for talent. Those who are talent build up a startup
Yeah,
and
I
company.
mean, yeah,
And they
we can
utilize
do
it.
CryptoCon, crypto scam. I have to do it over in Bangladesh because hopefully some regulators won't come and arrest me and put me in jail for the scam that it really is. But if we set it up there, then you just pay off all the local politicians. They go, oh yeah, this is the greatest thing in the world, and you just go, okay, have a good day, and then you tell people how it's going to go up. It's going to be the greatest thing in the world. It's going to be a world currency that you can't beat. It's all out of Dhaka, the biggest city in the world, and you just sell the bejeebers at it. And then people put in their hard-earned euros, hard-earned dollars, hard-earned sterling, whatever it is, and you issue these little tiny coins. I've got one in
Nick,
my.
here we have 5
I got one
people
here.
together, including you.
Yeah, Sasha can be the Ministry of
So
Scam.
let's see, we will commit to this crypto. Who will be the number 6 buyer of this crypto? 7?
I don't know. Maybe we can sell it to Elon Musk. I mean, maybe
I
he'll
looked
buy
up
some.
SpaceX. SpaceX, on the day of the IPO, it opened at 161. Within 2 days, it climbed to 200. Then it fell to under 155. Right now, it's at 162. So if you manage to get in on the IPO, you've made 1/2 of 1%.
That's not bad. They took a little bit of a ride. That's not bad. 1/2 of 1% in a short period of time isn't a bad return. So, but at the same time, if you bought in at 200, oh man, you are hurting because it may be a while before you see 200 on SpaceX again.
Visit this issue in about 3 months from now. It will be sub $100, if that.
Oh, Sasha.
Probably much lower, but it will be below 100. That's 100. That's 100%.
Sasha.
And all these stocks, Nick, I told you a few days ago about Micron, MU stock, where it was it was $1,300. What is it now? 900? Going down big time, and all these other wonderful AI stocks, all of them
Sasha.
learning.
Sasha, I bought it at 64 and I bailed out too early. I was trading in Micron for a while. I feel really
And
bad.
everything like that. Apparently, cryptocurrency is officially banned in Bangladesh, but adoption is high with millions traded via peer-to-peer platforms and international exchanges. But they did make it illegal in Bangladesh, so you can't set up a Bangladesh cryptocurrency that would be officially sanctioned because apparently they made it illegal in Bangladesh. But
they're too
Sharif,
smart
tell
over
us.
there. They figured it out, Sasha. So Mark, they figured it out in Bangladesh that it's a scam, so they made it illegal. See, the United States, how could they be so stupid?
Yeah, they said it violations of the Foreign Exchange Regulation Act, under Prevention Act, and the Anti-Terrorism Act. So that's how they and they said while ownership is last, crypto for transactions can lead to prosecution, particularly if linked to money laundering, terrorist financing, or foreign currency violations. So yeah, they definitely went after crypto hard in the Bangladesh.
Okay, well, so much for that plan. I guess we were not going to do it over there, but you just brought out something that I believe someday the United States is going to make it illegal also. Your own currency? No way. That's absolutely should be verboten in the U.S. It should be at best security.
Before Trump, it was about illegal in the United States. There were a lot of prosecution. There were a lot of investigations. And then Trump, a year ago, 2025, April, he actually stopped all investigations against crypto, made it 100% legal, and so on. And that was a belief, and a lot of people started to buy, for example, Bitcoin, in belief that, it's now the golden age of crypto, it's now flying, and so on. Trump made his money and walked away. He's no longer in crypto. He doesn't care about crypto one way or another, but people are holding the backs, buying crypto, $100 and more apiece. And now it's fighting for its life. It's under 60, and most likely, I saw some charts. It will go down to 53. There is some support, and then it's going all the way down to sub 40 level. So a lot of people will be holding the backs. Congratulations, well done, guys.
Yeah,
Next,
well, I mean,
you will figure out how to elect a president, a conman and a criminal. you will learn the hard way. Welcome to hell, my American friends.
how's he doing on who is it? Gene
He
Carroll's
closing
judgment?
Well, no, he
Because
lost that case. There are two
I know he
Gene
did. The
Carroll
Supreme Court
cases.
He lost that
decided-
case.
He
We're
libeled
not
her
gonna hear
twice.
this one. Okay,
The
yeah.
Supreme Court has had the final word that he has to pay $5 million in the first case. The second case, I'm sure, is still being appealed. If he loses that one too, he's on the hook for $83 million.
Yeah, but how much did he make in his crypto scam, and how much did he make in the
Like
last couple years?
$2.2 billion.
So he can easily pay the 80 million or whatever.
Yeah,
it
but
is, right?
I think like it's a point of pride with him to not pay whenever
But he's going
possible.
to. I'm afraid he's going to have to pay, because if not, here's what Gene Carroll does. It's called an aid and execution of judgment. Okay, people don't know what that is, but what you do is you go to the court, you file an aid and execution of judgment. Then what you do is you go to Trump Towers and you seize all their office equipment. You take the police down. You actually do this, and you go into there. You say, "I would like that bill. I would like that office desk. I'd like that chair. I'd like that sofa," and you take it all out and you auction it off.
You're assuming there's no security? Trump doesn't have any security?
It doesn't matter. It
Yeah,
doesn't
but
matter.
What do you
Trump-
mean? His security is
You-
much
you
stronger
do,
than
and-
all
and
U.S.
Sasha-
Army. They don't care.
Sasha,
It's
I've
the
been down
president's
this rabbit hole before. The
security.
aid and
They
execution
don't.
judgment
They will not allow.
is
touch it.
let me tell you, their attorneys
Actually,
are
they will arrest whoever police will come there. They will arrest all these police.
Okay.
They will throw them in jails. That's all.
there's full legal courses on execution of
It
judgment.
doesn't
The
work
other thing
anymore
you
in
do-
America. It doesn't work in America.
It does work
anyway.
that way.
No,
You
it
don't-
doesn't
you don't
work
know.
anymore. Trump is the king of America. He can rule any way he wants. He'll do anything he wants. He can arrest
Sorry,
anybody he wants, start prosecution. And
Sorry,
you
Charlie.
forget about your
I hate to say it,
constitution,
but
your
the
rights.
lawyers-
There's
Who's
another
extremely-
problem with Nick. There's another problem with doing that. She
Oh, you can
could-
go to Mar-a-Lago. You're right. You can go to Mar-a-Lago.
well, he'd have to do that, but like if she went to his offices in Trump Tower and seized all their office equipment and furniture,
Yeah.
she'd be lucky to make $18,000.
Well, but you keep doing it. See that then the next recommendation by one of our viewers is go to Mar-a-Lago. Mar-a-Lago's got some nice stuff in it. You go into Mar-a-Lago and just start taking the paintings out, taking the furniture out. It's called an aid and execution
I
judgment.
don't necessarily.
Properties are not in his name.
I don't think that he's got that much.
That might be true. He may make it difficult. He doesn't own anything, you know. Well, then you also go to his bank accounts. By the way, there's a
I think the
form
people
that you
very
do,
much are big
and
into
you do a bank account sweep. I am not kidding. And anything that shows up in his name, you do the aid, and you can actually remove it from his bank account. There's beautiful legal courses on how to execute judgments. And I know that Carroll is working with some very good attorneys in New York. I mean, some of the best in the world. They will so swiftly move in and just rip out money off his bank accounts. He won't even know it took place. He'll be gone, boom, like that,
Okay.
you know. And let me tell you, even though Trump is powerful, we have 1.6 million attorneys, including a group of them part of the Supreme Court, that quietly can pull a lot of strings, including this one. So guess what he's going to do? He's going to write the check and get out of this, because if not, it's going to be even more embarrassing to watch this happen.
Does he
Because
care about
attorneys,
investment?
by the way, are vicious. The good ones are. He never hires good ones, but if you hired good ones, they are vicious. They're like animals. I mean, you know, let's go into those.
No, he hires cheap attorneys to
I know he
just
does.
gum up the works, because if you're
I know,
a
we don't want
contract,
that.
all right, so here's how it works with Trump. If you're a contractor, you do a job for him, a big job for you, where you're owed $1.5 million. And
Right.
that's maybe 2/3 of your income for a year. And then Trump says, well, I'm not going to pay. I don't like this. He comes up with some bullshit excuses. Then you get lawyers, he gets lawyers. His lawyers are crappy, but it doesn't matter because they say we are going to tie you up in court for years. You're going to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars in legal fees trying to get through this. We're just go ahead and we'll pay you $450,000 out of the 1.5 million you're claiming. Just take the loss because there's no way to win against us. And you don't need.
But see, the thing is, he's already lost the case. He already, when it's reduced to judgment, it's only execution of a judgment, which most good attorneys will be able to do. And there's so many different ways to do it. He's going to lose that money. Watch, he can jump up and down, but let me tell you something. They're gonna take it all.
All right. Well, let's talk about something that impacts a lot more people. The labor force participation rate. That is the people who are still either working or looking for a job is only at 61.5%, which is the lowest rate except for during COVID in 50 years, since 1976. It means that tens of millions of Americans are too discouraged to look for a job, and it's this low participation rate. People either working or trying to work means that's why our unemployment rate is remaining low because
the unemployment down. Listen, when I heard the same argument when the Democrats were reducing unemployment, and the Republicans were complaining, well, the labor unemployment rate, labor force participation rate wasn't high enough, and they were doing the same argument. I don't want to listen to that BS. I don't want to listen from either party. I had to listen from the Republicans when Biden was in office. When Biden was dropping the unemployment, they were going, well, the labor force participation rate isn't going down. Forget it. Okay, because you don't know what's in that demographic at all. All you know is the people that are applying for unemployment. And it's gone down. It's gone down 1 percentage point. It's 4.2. Get real. And according to them, they did create jobs last quarter. Why do you want to?
No, they did
jump
not.
onto
They did not. In the past 12 months, the average number of jobs created has been 42,000 a month, which is less than 1/4 of the average rate of job creation, excluding COVID. In the past 15 years.
Yeah, but the thing is, let me ask you this. But it was an increase in job creation, was it not, Counselor?
Yeah, but we.
Okay, then I'm done with it. You can't go say I'm going to measure it against a metric that was 20 years ago or 10 years ago, or 5 years ago. That George W. Bush did better 1 quarter. Who cares?
Measured against Trump's first term.
Forget it.
He lost Trump under Trump in his first term. He lost close to 3 million net jobs, and he still hasn't climbed out of that hole, making him the only president with negative job growth since Herbert Hoover, who left office in 1933. Every other president has been a net job creating president except for Trump.
Hey, speaking of Trump, just really quickly, because I just saw another story across the news feed. Don't military people have the right to say something against the president as well? Because I just saw a news story that came across that a U.S. service member was arrested for calling for the impeachment of the president. So I don't think that he was saying anything other than that he was asking for Trump to be impeached. But a U.S. service member was arrested at the Capitol after calling for Trump's impeachment. So my guess is that he was on a protest and was asking for Trump to be impeached and everything like that. So wasn't that?
Of course they're going to make it. They've already asked for it. I mean, the thing is, the simplest thing in the world besides arguing with Jacoby, notice I said the simplest thing in the world besides arguing with Jacoby is listening to people saying, we're going to impeach Trump. You're going to hear that for the next bloody 2 years.
Well, he will be
Democrats
impeached.
take the House,
He's already been impeached twice. He'll be impeached again.
Yeah,
Will he get kicked out of office? Probably not.
Can I just point out something that was just said just a little bit?
It's a waste of conversation. It's a waste of the shock to the system. That's the reason I didn't want the impeachment to go through the first time, because as they say in chess, I got a chess player here, the threat is worse than the execution. See, now once you did the execution, you just took away all the fun parts.
So
Okay, there we go.
Clarify.
So can I
Hold
jump
on,
in?
hold on.
Can I-
Before we do that, let's
Teflon
wait.
Trump
Let's clear up the
Elizabeth
previous
right off the
story.
shoulder.
Yes,
I'm
an
sorry.
Air Force. Hold on. Let's clear up this. An Air Force
There goes the
major was
impeachment.
arrested.
Oh, wait.
Hold on. Wait.
There's a
hold on.
fly on
Hold
my
on.
shoulder.
Let me
Oh, that's an impeachment
finish
fly.
the story. So this
Finish
guy gets arrested.
Goodbye.
An Air Force major gets arrested, not because he was a member of the military calling for Trump's impeachment, but because you're not allowed to protest on the steps of the U.S. Capitol unless you're accompanied by a member of Congress. So he was arrested. So that's not. It wasn't because he's military. It's because he broke the rules for being on the steps. So there
Oh
you go.
dear.
what were you going to say, Jacoby?
Let me point out a couple of things.
Oh, here we go. Like I said, it's time for the
One,
roller
if you're
coaster
talking about
ride.
impeachment, okay, here we go again. We're going to talk over top. One, if we're talking about impeachment used to be a thing. It used to be something that was very important. But the problem is, just like what Nick is doing, Nick is trying to downplay it and make it into, hey, it's just a normal thing. Everybody goes through it. No, not everybody goes through it. Individuals have been impeached. The Republican Party and people such as Nick really went out crazy when Bill Clinton got impeached. However, when it became Donald Trump, it was, well, it's just nothing. Let's treat it like a fly and brush it off. So that's what Nick is going through right now. He's trying to make it into just something normal and normalize something that is abnormal. Now, one thing that you did just discuss, which was talking about the job numbers and which was talking about things that we should recognize and compare to other situations, Nick is actually trying to push forth a let them eat cake argument. Basically, he's saying, so what the job numbers don't compare to anybody else? So what the stock market numbers don't rise as fast as anybody else? So what? Just accept it. So what? You're being robbed and taken from and all this bad things are happening. Just accept that, well, your house is on fire, but just accept that the sink isn't burning because there's water running from it. That is what Nick's argument all is. Because yes, we have a very slow stock market rise, but yet Nick wants to tout the stock market is rising. He forgets about the context around it. Just as Rick pointed out, the jobs numbers, that really, this is the lowest jobs numbers that we've ever had in how many decades? Multiple.
No, the lowest rate of
Job growth.
percentage of labor participation.
Well,
The
labor
highest.
participation, job growth as well, because remember, he had no net jobs coming out of last year. And now we're ranting and raving about 56,000 jobs when we averaged about 1 million jobs a year.
No, we averaged in all but like recession years and COVID years, we averaged 2 million jobs a year.
So 2 million a year to 0 jobs a year. But yet Nick wants us to be happy about, oh, hey, we got 56,000. Just be excited. That is a let me eat cake.
We didn't really, we got 57,000, but it was really negative 17,000 because when they announced the 57, they announced a downward revision of the 2 previous months of 74,000. You do the math, that's negative 17,000.
And also we're gonna have a actual downward revision on the current jobs. And this is where I would love, because I see Sasha's hand up, and that's perfect timing because he knows I'm thinking about him. Sasha, now when we're looking at the economic indicators right now, one of the biggest job losses in the industry right now was in travel. And from what I understand, doesn't that mean that that's a shaky job market?
Take seriously the job numbers because it's manipulated by government and they will revise this in 2-3 weeks time anyway. So don't even discuss this garbage figures. It's nothing but lies. Now, if you want to have something about Trump's economy, ask him more fundamental questions. Mr. Trump, you promised to bring in $17 trillion to create jobs. Where are the jobs? Where are $17 trillion, you idiot? Where are they? You con man. criminal. Bring your own $17 trillion. If you cannot raise it elsewhere, just sell all your crypto stocks and your mansions and everything else, and put this money on the table right now, or just go away and just stop all the nonsense. Oh, there is a $300 billion fund for Iran. So when Marco Rubio was on a tour of the Gulf states, so I think it was Saudi Arabia minister, so the correspondent asked, so what's happening now with $300 billion fund for Iran? He said, what? What $300 billion? What Iran? What are you talking about? He never heard in his life about $300 billion. So what kind of a common approach to these negotiations, which are very important, because U.S. lost the war, so he has to get out of that area as quickly as possible, and then they're playing games. Oh, Iran phone, they want meeting, so he sent this Vitkov and
Kushner.
So he sends this to, say, close friends, relatives, whatever they are. He sends them, they're arriving. There is no Iranian delegation. And Qatari says, well, we didn't promise that there will be a delegation from Iran. We are here. We can talk. We can negotiate. No Iranian delegation. So it was again a lie that Iran phoned, asked for a meeting. A lie is a lie is a lie. And more lies coming from his mouth. So, welcome to hell, my American friends.
Check. What's funny is, did you notice, Sasha, how Nick is up here posting these things right beneath your name to try and actually, make some crazy argument? Like, for example, this whole stock market up 9.1% this year. Do you know it went up from 20 in the year 2024, 23 to 25%? So you arguing that makes your argument look
I'll
bad.
give you a better
Then
example.
Then
There
he
are
put
only
up.
a handful of stocks about on my fingers of the right. I can count of them that are making up all the market, and everything else is down, down, down. So, so unless you have all this AI stocks, you are down big time. And last year, and this year, and next year, and nothing will help you.
And like how he's putting up this, did you notice he just put up this Trump accounts thing, which Trump actually took an actual program that was already available to individuals, but no, he throws his name on top of it. So Nick throws up this dumb Trump accounts, which is actually a thing already, but Trump put his name on it. Then did you notice that he put up, inflation at 4.2%, because Nick thought that was a cool thing, that was a really smart thing to put up. But what Nick, I guess, didn't realize that is in 2025, when Trump took over, inflation was actually at 3%, and it went up from 2.9 to 3% from December to January. So Nick's whole argument that he's trying to put up there, that things are better, shows that Nick really hasn't read.
So the no tax on tips, I mean, is that actually a thing? Because I know some people in the restaurant
The no
business.
tax on tips. That is such a great thing. But you know what? That only affects roughly about maybe 5 to 10% of the employment, because that's in the service industry, which is also in the service industry that lost jobs this month and has been losing jobs due to the fact that tourism is down. It was down last year and it's down this year. So Nick throwing up no tax on tips really doesn't help anyone at all.
Hey, Jacoby, as we get ready to wind up, and I'll get ready to get us out of here, I'm going to play this short comedian from North Carolina, and he was actually talking about sports betting and the popularity of it, but also how sometimes people don't need to be doing it. So I'll play this and then get us out with the video as well. But it's a gentleman from North Carolina that now lives in New York.
Certain jobs, I think, should have to publicly report if they sports gamble and lose a ton of money. Like, none of you would have gotten on a flight to New York if you knew the pilot just lost $100,000 on the jets the night before, right? Or you'd at least want to know about it. None of you would send your parents into surgery if the surgeon just missed the last leg of like $1 million parlay right before it performs. And my point is, it's affecting jobs. And I thought about this because my cousin called me. He lost $50,000 gambling a couple months ago. Yeah, $50,000 my cousin lost, and he's been depressed. And he's an ICE agent in Minnesota, so...
Thought that was a good way to end shortly, but he also had another interesting joke as well, which is that apparently you can't not have billboards in Cary, because he's also a resident of Cary, that particular comedian, and was talking about the nature of Cary, and apparently he even admitted in one of his jokes that Cary does have these billboard laws where you cannot hang up billboards in that particular town, which I did not know, but he admitted that that was a tool for the joke. So sometimes you will stretch the facts in order to make the joke effective. But on that note, we'll get ready to get on out of here, and we got taping, like they said, of the show